Average at Best Cornhole here. This hybrid material, this faster one that we're used to, it's been popping up in a lot more series from different bag companies, and I have the pleasure here to discuss the Phenix from Basement Bags Cornhole that uses that hybrid material. Now it is a faster hybrid material, and normally when you have a faster material like that, bags are going to be made to run holes with, and I feel that these bags are just that. I'm going to get into a lot more detail on them though. Starting with the materials, this is that Charmin hybrid. I call it the Charmin hybrid because it's super soft. It is a hybrid material. It's just a little bit faster than the three most common ones. Fast side on these bags, I mean, this is that super popular 9-speed fast side that we're all used to. Because of those materials, Basement Bags rates these bags as a 6 on the slow side, with that 9 on the fast side. I tend to think that this Charmin hybrid plays a little bit faster than a 6, but that seems to be a common call out for it, so I'm not going to argue with him. These Phenix series, they have that medium small template, and it's kind of like a medium to loose feeling to them. I don't want to say they're super loose. They are not super loose, but these materials do tend to stretch a little bit, and with the softness of this hybrid material, I think the bags flattened out some. They do have that perfect balance, that perfect grip that you can get with these series, and I think Basement Bags, pretty much this is the 4th set that I've weighed and measured, and they're all pretty common, similar to each other. I think Basement Bags, he dialed in, found that perfect sweet spot for a bag, and it seems like he's just recreating that for all his series. These do have primarily all flat fill, but there is still those filler beads in there. And again, I don't know what type of filler bead it is, a semi-round, a half round. Sometimes you do feel like a real chunky one in there. So it's some sort of a mix of filler. And what that does is that's what gives the bag a little bit of volume. If it wasn't there, flat fill, you'd have to put a ton of it in there and it'd be too heavy, or it'd just be super thin. Before I get into the slide up, please leave me a comment. I'm trying to switch things up, and I'm arguing with myself on how to edit the throw video, so I'm going to try a couple different things. Let me know what your thoughts are. Highlight of these bags is their forgiveness. I don't want to take the easy way out, but that's what this bag is made for. It is a faster hybrid material. It primarily has flat fill, so you're going to get a ton of forgiveness from that. Unfortunately, the low light is when you have that forgiveness, you're going to lose things like action. These bags did not move a ton for me. I did get them to cut sometimes. You could see that in the video. But other than that, if I forgot when I was throwing it and I was putting like a lot of tilt on there to get a good cut, it really didn't move that much. It just kind of flattened out, forgave itself, and went straight. So that's why I know that it is a super forgiving bag. Plus, I've seen other people throwing it that didn't have super flat bags. So I got to experience that as well. Another area where this bag excels is its whole bodiness. And yes, I know that primarily flat fill does tend to hang up a little bit, but I think the Charmin hybrid's fast enough to really, really litigate that. You're still going to get a ton of whole bodiness from them because you have the drip from the speed. Also, you have the looseness that you could accidentally grab the hole. And these bags are fast enough as well that if you are off target and it barely grabs, you're going to get them ones where they swing around and drop into the back of the hole. Flat fill does tend to settle sometimes, and the filler bead does help prevent that, but it's going to happen. Sometimes they settled in the front of the hole, but they were super easy to clean up at that point because you got to imagine you have a fast material sitting on the board and your next bag is a fast material. Not too many times I would throw into my bag and they would both just come to a stop. It was very easy to push through them. That leads me right to collectability and not just hangers. I think the bags collected well when they were blockers, but I don't think you're going to be purposely laying blockers with these bags, so that didn't happen that often. But I'm just telling you, with this hybrid material, a fast material, and the next bag you're throwing at it is a fast material, it's not going to take much to get them moving again. so they kind of bunch up and both go into the hole. Also for me, a gauge for collectability is if the person I was throwing against laid a blocker up in front of the hole, most of the time I just tried pushing right through it, and it did that well too. So, I mean, collectability, you have the bag you're trying to collect, but you also have the bag you're throwing. And if I didn't have any issues throwing this bag and pushing through my opponent's blockers, that gave me the, the confidence that it was a good collecting bag. These bags are hole runners. I think you use the speed, I think you use the forgiveness, and I think you use the confidence you get from that good hand feel that you get from them just to run holes. The confidence lets you throw straight, and the bags are fast enough that you really don't have to worry about them hanging up too much on you. Just run holes with them. I will say, I don't think you're purposely leaving blockers, but things happen. So maybe you hit another bag and you left the blocker. I was doing this a couple times. Like, instead of like cleaning up that blocker, right away, or cleaning up my bag right away, maybe bunch another one into it, up there on the board, because the bags are fast enough that you can clean up a couple of these bags at once. So if you could pile up 2, maybe even 3 of your bags in front of the hole to really mess with your opponent, knowing that you're going to come clean that up, it worked out great for me. I also think that the bags are a little bit more than just running holes, just not like in an action way. A couple things you can do with them is a get around bag. Works perfect. Get around bag is, when a right-handed thrower throws into a blocker and it kind of uses the corners to grip and like gear around that bag. Bagged worked awesome for that. There is a little bit of lift on the bags, not too much, not like the other basement bags I had. So you can try that lift shot. But like I said, when I was putting like a lot of tilt on these bags to try to cut, they just kind of like came down and it was like thud and went straight. So I really don't think you're going to be able to depend on that lift shot. But use that speed too. If there is like multiple bags up on the board, just try to play pinball. Like, aim at one of them, expecting to bounce a little bit on your, path to that hole. You can find Basement Bags Cornhole on the web at basementbagcornhole.com. There's no S on bags. It also has a Facebook page, which is at Basement Bags Cornhole. As far as designs and availability, there is stock designs loaded up on the website in multiple colorways, but there's always the option to get those custom bags that you want. That leads me right to the cost of that. They are priced right for the ACO. $80 for a set of the stock designs. If you want to upgrade to that custom, it's $100. I enjoy throwing a fast bag. I know some of the times the people I play with complain a little bit that the bags are too fast, even that they're familiar with the materials, but I think there's a place for a fast bag. And I think one of those places is if you're throwing off a little bit, you're just not doing that good, like dumb it down. Get yourself a fast bag that feels good in your hand, that's going to build your confidence, so you can just start throwing straight again instead of trying to do all those crazy fancy shots because it's not working out for you at the time. And I think this bag was awesome for that. It was also really good now that we're in the summertime and fall is creeping up on us. We're getting a ton of moisture and stuff on the boards as we're going into the evening. This bag is a great option for that because it's fast to start with. The moisture is going to slow it down a little bit, but not a much. It's going to carry it to, like that normal hybrid material you're used to. So then you are going to be able to use this as an active bag and throw some cut shots and rolls and whatnot, whatever you want to do with it, because that moisture is going to make the boards a little bit tacky. I just want to end this with, you're going to be average or something, be average at cornhole.